Des grew up in Ireland. I grew up partially in Ireland. I moved to America later in my early teens. But we grew up on a very, very healthy diet of like American television. Have an immense love for it because, in Ireland we didn't have the money and resources to make our own television. Well, they do, but it wasn't very good. So it's all imported, much like other foreign countries. One of America's biggest and best exports is entertainment. That's why it's a universal language spoken the world over. Everybody's seen Seinfeld, everybody's seen Friends, everybody's seen The Big Bang Theory.
Right. So when did you come up with the idea for Showrunners?
4.5 years ago.
Okay.
It's taken us, unfortunately, that long to get the film made. That's one of the perils of kind of low-budget, independent documentary filmmaking. And yeah, I got an opportunity to pitch it to the Irish Film Board. Remarkably, I looked out and got a guy over there who was as big a TV nerd as I was, and had some interest in it, and they gave us a little bit of development money, and we came over. September 2010. So it's been a long haul to get to this weekend where the film is actually releasing. It's kind of surreal actually to think that the film is actually releasing, or even that tonight the LA Academy premiere thing is like, wow. Yeah, there's a panel after the screening where some of the guys are going to talk about the art of showrunning, if you like, and then we also have some other showrunners who are in the film who are just coming along to see the film tonight as well. So it's the biggest night of the film's life so far tonight. So yeah, who do we not get that we want? Shonda Rhimes. I really wanted Shonda. Unfortunately, she doesn't seem to particularly enjoy doing a lot of publicity or interviews and stuff unless she really has to do it. Benioff and Weiss from Game of Thrones, I would have loved to have gotten them as well.
Vince Gilligan,
who did say yes to us, but we just couldn't make those schedules work. Like, I mean, even just getting an hour of those guys' time can take you months to set up. Shooting
on location in Albuquerque. In season 5, like when they finally agreed, and couldn't make the days work. But we do have 22 pretty good people in the film, I think.
More than pretty good, I would say. I would say. How many hours did you shoot?
I think there's over 100 hours of footage.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean between interviews and kind of actuality.
There's loads more of like just live.
Do you have a blooper reel?
There is a kind of a blooper reel. I don't know if we'll ever be allowed to have that see the light of day.
It's gone wild.
Yeah.
Who's your editor?
Our editor was a fantastic guy called John Murphy, who's an Irish guy. All the post-production on the film was done in Dublin, Ireland. He's cut a ton of documentary, and he saved my life really because the edit was a year and it was really, really difficult. He said himself it was the most difficult film he's ever had to cut.
It's gorgeous the way he edited it. I was vastly impressed.
Thank you.
Because a lot of indie films look indie. This did not look indie.
Well, yeah, we tried very hard to. I mean, my background's in camera as well, so we tried to present it cinematographically. Is a hard word to say this early in the morning. Cinematically is much better. Yes.
We're professionals.
Cinematically,
and it's funny because one of the reviews I read a little while ago, because we also have Kickstarter backers, because some of the funding came from that, but they said surprisingly technically good for a Kickstarter back doc, and I was like, okay, I guess that's a compliment in some kind of a way, but
yeah, that is.
For media, Kickstarters are for products and services and all sorts of things. It's become basically like a pre-sale platform for products for the most part. And in that case, we sort of took a similar tack, but not entirely. I think understanding your audience is of vast importance. Now, thankfully, we initially had a pretty comprehensive trailer that was expositive enough to illustrate what the film was touching on and who was in it at that time. But we ended up getting a lot more people even after the fact, after that came out, because we couldn't edit everybody into that pitch. But at the time, we listed everybody who was in the film. We did try to do a little bit of fan service. We made some like goofy fan films. One was like a Dr. Horrible, like Joss Whedon's Dr. Horrible hero, MGA writer strike. A friend of ours owns the house that Dr. Horrible was made in. He owns Dr. Horrible's lair. He has the chair that he's sitting in. my friend Jonathan Riley, a good friend of ours, who's been absolute amazing support to us. And we let us shoot this Kickstarter video in there, and we posted it in Dr. Horrible on Twitter and Facebook, and ended up reposting it, and it went viral very quickly overnight. And
it's still up on YouTube, if people want to check it out. You can see it on our YouTube channel.
We incorporated TARDIS and Fringe Observer and friends and family and loads of people in it, and it's just a goofy piss up, just having a laugh. And trying to illustrate that. I think what really comes across, if I could pin it on one thing, is I think people realise that we are fans ourselves. They're going to give to us because we're like them, but they're making a thing that I want to watch about the thing that I love. And I think that's something that's really important to drive home here, is that we are fans ourselves.